Well, hello, my fabulous book lovers. I am so excited to see you. Welcome to the launch party for Forged, the prequel novella to the Golden Trilogy. I am K.m. Robinson, author of the Golden Trilogy, and we've got a great party for you planned tonight. I'm really excited. We are playing games. We are giving away prizes. We have a party gift for everybody. We've got some amazing games. I'm giving away some secrets. I'm answering questions, and I cannot wait to get started. Now, we are going to give it just a second because I know it takes people a minute to log on, but thank you guys so much for joining us. I truly appreciate it. Hello and welcome to Connie. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us. If you are here, go ahead and locate the chat box on the right side of the screen. If at any point during tonight's party you've got a question or a comment, hit up that chat box over on the right side of the screen and let me know what you are thinking. If you've got questions, there's a question mark tab that you can actually hit, and it will highlight your question in red so that I know what's a question and what is just chatting with me. So go ahead and let me know who you are, where you're from. If you're an author, go ahead and give your books a shout out, and we are going to jump in and get started. Now, I am very excited because we've got a lot going on tonight, and I want to talk a little bit about Forged while we're waiting for people to get signed on. So Forged is the prequel novella to the Golden Trilogy. This is all about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So Golden is my young adult retelling of Goldilocks and the Three Bears with a dystopian twist. And Forged is all about how Goldilocks was trained to be sent on that deadly mission to destroy the bear family. So real quick, let me read the back of this to you, and go ahead and give me a shout out while you are joining us. I appreciate all of you jumping in. We've got some more people joining us. I'm thrilled to be seeing you. Thanks so much, Susie. Thank you, Lisa, for coming. I'm so glad to see you guys. Go ahead, let me know that you are here, and I am going to read the back of Forged to you. Before Lowell sent Illyria on a mission for his master plan of destruction, before Shadow trained her to be a vicious and deceptive fighter, before she ever met Dove Bear and his family, Illyria was a young girl merely trying to survive. Once she is brought into Lowell's fold after the death of her aunt, Illyria is placed under the supervision of Shadow, a cruel and careless mentor. She must learn to fight to further her cousin's mission to destroy the society that persecutes their own people. As her training continues, she finds herself in growingly dangerous situations, all leading to her greatest mission yet: to destroy Dove and Berwin Bear and become the deceptive fighter that Lowell has made her to be. So there you go. That is a little bit about Forged, which is all about Illyria's training before she was sent on that deadly mission to destroy the bears. So long before Dove Bear was ever in the picture, she was trained by her handler Shadow and her cousin Lowell to go and destroy the bears and in turn destroy the society. And we've got a lot going on within this book. It's a novella, so it's short. It's not super big. There we go. So it's a quick read. I'm really excited for you guys to see it. If you have read Golden, go ahead and post in the comments over on that right side of the screen that you have read it. Let me know what you think. I hope that you enjoyed it. And thank you guys for showing up. I do appreciate you being here. All right. We are going to take a look at some really cool stuff within this book. We are going to take a look at the chapter header, which I actually had intended on putting up on screen for you, but we're having a bit of a family emergency right now, so I'm a little bit scattered and I didn't quite get everything together. Also, my neighbors are working heavy machinery across the street. They started right before we went live, so I apologize if you are hearing the chaos that is going on outside of that window. So let's take a look at the chapter headers for Forged. I'm trying to get the right angle here. These are hidden pictures, just like they are in the Golden Trilogy. And as you can see, we've got some really interesting things in there. You can see some, gosh, I can't give it away. I don't want to give it away. But you can see that there are some different little swirly things and some hidden pictures. And some are more obvious, some are a little less obvious. But you have to go through the book and read the book to figure out what the pictures are and how they make sense. So there are... Actually, I didn't count. I should have counted. I think we were up to like 18 or 19 when my artist was drawing it. And it is the same artist who did the inside chapter headers for Golden as well, which are also hidden pictures and very different. Fun fact, here's a little behind the scenes info for you. We are Also, not we, me, I have seen the final chapter headers for Locked, which is the sequel to Golden and the prequel novella. And they are just as amazing as the ones in both of these books. We have hidden things from the story, from Goldilocks' original story, that's also applicable to these books, and it's just amazing. You haven't seen them yet. It's top secret, but it is so dang cool, guys. I can't even tell you how awesome it happens to be. Quick heads up, guys. If you are having any trouble with the reception tonight, I know that my webinar program is having a little bit of trouble with certain browsers. Go to the bottom of the screen somewhere, and there is a place for resolution. Downgrade that resolution just a little bit, and that should fix the problem if you are having any glitches. I'm going to grab some water real quick because I'm losing my voice. Whew, it's been a long day. I have been outside filming all day long in the pollen and the whatever is going on. And I have been losing my voice, so it's been a little bit of a disaster as far as my vocal cords are concerned today. So bear with me as I drink a lot of water during this party. All right, so thank you so much for joining me. If you are just getting here, chat box on the right side of the screen. If you have questions at any time, go ahead and hit me up. Comments are welcome as well. Feel free to talk to each other. I'm so excited to see you. Thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate you being here today. And go ahead and leave me those comments. All right, we're going to move on because I have a game for us to play. I'm really excited for this one. We are going to be playing Never Have I Ever Golden Style. And this is going to be rather interesting because I am going to be playing for both myself and for Illyria. And so I have two colored fans here, blue and green, to kind of represent the blue tones in the cover and green for the forest. So I will be represented by the blue, Illyria will be represented by the green, and if the fans are out, that means that we have done, or we are saying yes to whatever the Never Have I Evers are, and if the fans are away, that means that we have not done it. So I will be working with two hands here. It might get a little confusing. We're going to see how it goes. If you have something you would like us to answer during Never Have I Ever, go ahead and pop it in the chat box now. And we are going to learn a little bit more about me, K.m. Robinson, and Illyria from the Golden Trilogy. So let me take a look. I did have some people who were not able to make it tonight who did write in with some of these games from my Elite Street team. So thank you guys for writing those in. We're going to get these answered for us now. Never have I ever thrown a knife. Now that is something that takes place within the story of Forged. And we're going to answer, ever have I ever thrown a knife? Both Illyria and I are pretty well versed in knife throwing. Surprise. Our next question is, never have I ever bathed in a stream? So, never have I ever. Go ahead, leave me your comments in the chat box as well. Have you ever bathed in a stream? Let me know. Let me know. And never have I ever bathed in a stream. Illyria has bathed in a stream. I have definitely not. That is not a thing, not gonna happen. Never have I ever kissed a coworker. Okay, sound off in the comments. Let me know, what do you guys think? Have you ever kissed a coworker? And it went backwards. That didn't work. Illyria has. I have not. Ever have I ever. Go ahead and keep leaving those comments for me. Never have I ever. Taking a look here. Never have I ever planned to overthrow a society. Okay, so here we go. Ooh. And kinda. Why is this so backwards? There we go. I have planned to overthrow a society, not nearly the way that you think. I am a fan of upending like the book community or upending the photography community. And so that is my overthrow. We are doing like a social media revolution type deal. So that's as far as that goes. Illyria herself has not planned to overthrow a society, but she is operating under her cousin Lowell's plan. That is why he's training her. And so she herself hasn't planned it, but she kind of participates in it. And in Golden, she definitely participates in his plan, and she kind of helps to plan the plan. So, like, halfway for her. Never have I ever. Let's take a look. We're going to do just a couple more before we move on to our next game. I'm really excited about this next one. It is going to be really fun because it's very inventive. So here we go. Never have I ever. Oh, I like this one. This is from one of my Elite 3 team who has already read Forged and knows why it's so important. Never have I ever picked a pocket. So let's see. Hit up the comments. Let me know. I'm seeing a lot of interesting answers from some of you guys from some of the other questions. Never have I ever picked a pocket. I am really going to have to work on this fan thing. I don't even know what's going on here. Illyria, in the book, learns how to pick a pocket. I mean, I've done it in my living room to, like, a family member because we were playing and practicing and they knew I was doing it, but I've never really picked a pocket. Illyria was definitely trained to pick pockets because that is how she gets some of her information within this story and maybe a little bit later in the series as well. Never have I ever fallen in love with the enemy. Jess sent that one in. You know Jess sent that one in. Never have I ever fallen in love with the enemy. I'm just not going to do well with these fans. Illyria definitely has fallen in love with the enemy. Not in Forged, but in Golden, which is already out, so you guys already know the answer to that. I haven't. Nope. If it's an enemy, it's not going to happen with me. Nope, not into that trope. Sorry, guys. And let's do this one as the last one. Never have I ever pretended to be someone that I'm not. Well, I mean, I'm going to guess you can probably already guess the answer on Illyria for this one because Golden, she's sent on a mission to destroy the bears, so she has to pretend to be someone she's not to get in with the bears. I don't think I have. I don't think I have. Unless acting counts. If acting counts, I'm on the stage a lot, so I guess that counts. All right, thanks so much for playing along with me. Your answers are fantastic over in the chat box. I really appreciate you. I'm just going to take a look and see who is here with us. Yes, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Go ahead and pop your comments, pop your questions into the chat box over on the right side of the screen. If you have questions, there's a red question mark tab. That'll help me to know that we are talking about a question and not just a comment, which will help me a little bit later when we do Q&A. So, we are going to play another game. I'm really excited about this one. We are going to be playing a game called Pick a Pocket. Yes, we are. I'm so excited for this one. And this is not quite what you think, but it is exactly what you think. And I'm really excited because, like I said, within Forged, Illyria has to go through her training. She has to learn how to survive out in the woods, how to survive the society. She has to learn how to be deceptive. She has to learn how to plan missions. She has to learn how to go on missions. She has to learn self-defense. She has to learn how to get information from people. She has to learn to do things like pick pockets and look for informants and figure out who is on her team and who is not. And so we are going to play a game called Pick a Pocket, which is actually pretty interesting because I have 3, wait for it, pocketbooks here. Little bags, purses. I just ran with the word. Just run with me here. And we are going to be picking one of 3. And inside of these pockets, I have specific objects that relate and strongly connect to Forged. Whichever one of these 3 you pick, I am going to pull out these objects and I will tell you how they are connected. Exciting, right? So here's some behind the scenes information. I'm giving away secrets. We are giving away secrets. So let's take a look at these pockets. Here's our first one. This is a large black pocket with some pretty gold zippers. Ooh, and it just rattled. I should probably be careful because there's some breakable stuff in some of these. Let me grab the next one, which is being crushed by the last one. Let's see if I can get this. The next one is going to be this beautiful purple pocket. We got some interesting things here. We've got some butterflies that might be a little reminiscent of the Jaded duology. Shout out to my other series. This is a medium-sized bag, at least compared to the other one. You can start voting now if you want bag 1, bag 2, and here we go, this is bag number 3, and it moved a little bit on me, so let me just fix this. Here is our third pocket. It is a small pink pocket that is not fastened all the way because the stuff inside is prohibiting me from closing it all the way. So what do you guys think? Do you want pocket 1, pocket 2, or pocket 3? Go ahead, take a second, jump into that chat box and let me know. Do you want the black one, the purple one, or the pink one? And while we are waiting, I am going to set all of these down. In theory, I'm going to set all of these down. We're only going through one of these. So each and every one of these has different things. And within these different things, they are connected to Forged. And I'll be giving away some secrets about Forged. And I will not show you what's in the other. So you have to shout out now over in the comments what is what and what you want. Because we're only picking one. Black, purple, or pink. Let me know. Let me know what you are thinking. And while we're waiting for those answers to come in, I am going to tell you just a little bit about the sequel to the Golden Trilogy. It is called Locked. So we've got Golden, Forged, Locked. If you haven't noticed, I am kind of picking some metalworking terms for some of these titles, and there's significant meaning to that. That is something big I haven't told anybody. I don't even think I told my elite street team yet. Like, I told them everything. I don't think I told them that yet. So there you go. Metalworking terms. I cannot wait to tell you the name of the last book. It's really interesting and it fits so perfectly. I just got my edits back on Locked today, and Locked comes out in just a few months later this fall. I'm really excited for it. It's going to be good. We actually find out what happens after the end of Golden, where basically we know that 2 people are still alive and we don't know about the rest of them. So we're going to find out who's alive and who's not in the next book. It's going to be interesting. All right, so I'm taking a look, and it looks like we are going with the purple bag. So here we go. We've got our purple pocket, and okay. So let me pull this out. I don't remember what I put in each bag. I grabbed 5 things from each one, and I just mixed them up so that it was a good mix of things. All right, so here we go. This is our first one, and this is a knife. So how is our knife connected to Forged? Well, go ahead. Give me your guesses over in the comments below, and I am going to give you just a second to guess why that knife is connected to Golden as I gently put it down on my table and move the string so I don't knock it down. All right, so we are getting some interesting guesses, and a lot of you are very correct on this. The knife is related to Golden because Illyria has to learn how to throw knives. We actually learned that in Never Have I Ever, because my Elite Street team is really good at giving questions based on the book. Illyria does have to learn how to throw knives, and she does have to learn how to use knives to protect herself and to protect others. Connie says the knife was gifted to her by Shadow. Oh, well, now there's an interesting thought, girl. That is an interesting thought. I like that. So yeah, the knife is connected because she has to learn how to throw knives, and there's some interesting things with those knives in there, but I can't tell you that. Again, if you can hear that across the street, I do deeply apologize. Here's our next one. This is a plant, and this is going to represent something within the story. What do you think this could possibly represent? I almost feel like I should be a little Hawaiian and tuck it into my hair there. What do you think this plant represents? And this one, probably going to be a little bit easy too. This is going to be very representative of the forest. So she is out in the forest. She is with Lowell's fold, and Lowell is not a stationary person. He likes to move around, so his group only stays in one location for a certain amount of time before they are moving. So they're very transient. They have tents. They walk around. They pick up and move. They will move hours away. They're always on the move so that the society cannot find them, and so their rival groups, like the bears, cannot find them as easily. So she is out living in the woods. Unfortunately, she is not necessarily the type of girl who wants to live in the woods. She's the kind of girl who would be happy in a house in town. And she is out there training, and there are some very specific scenes in the woods where she ends up on the ground in the woods. And so this is representative of those particular scenes. You're going to see like one or two that really have some significance. So remember this when we get to that point. Oh, our next one is this fancy, lovely antique mirror. And I want to know why you think this is related to Forged. How is this, and I don't say it because it's golden. It's not because it's golden, but it is this gorgeous golden antique mirror. And I want to know how you think this is connected to golden. Connie says it's a pretty mirror. Thank you, darling. Thank you. This was actually my grandmother's, and when she passed away, I got it. And it's absolutely beautiful, and I love it, and it's shiny and reflective and in very good condition. So I use these in my photos, my Bookstagram images, and now I'm using it here. How is this possibly represented within this story? Well, I'm going to tell you this is going to be really hard for you to guess because there is no real logical thing that you can think of without knowing what's going on in this story. So there is a person that Illyria meets within this story that is going to be represented by this mirror because she is fancy and she is well off and she is very posh, let's say. And this woman is incredibly significant in Illyria's life. I'm not going to tell you why, and I'm not going to tell you who she is, but you will meet her during the course of Forged, and she is incredibly, incredibly important to this series. She is foundational to what happens in Golden and in the rest of the trilogy. And so she's a very interesting person. You're going to love her or you're going to hate her. There's really not a lot of room in between. Some of my Elite Street team has mad respect for this woman, but I'm not going to tell you why. Some of them didn't comment on her, so they might fall on the other side of that. I'm not sure. She's interesting. I don't even know how I feel about her. She's interesting. Remember this when you meet her. Okay, we are getting down to... You're getting down to... Okay, guys, we have a piece of wood here. This is representative of something in the story. How is this representing Forged? And I mean, you could say she's out in the woods. Yes, I know she's out in the woods. You could say this is something she sits on. You could say all sorts of things. I'm going to tell you, I put this in here because this represents a tree. This represents a specific tree. This represents a specific tree in which something happens in a scene that has to do with this tree. And there's actually two different scenes that this represents. One you're going to like, one you're probably not going to like. So there you go. Those are your hints. And then we've got our last one, and it is a Band-Aid. And I like this one because this could represent so very many things within this story. Go ahead and guess in the comments why you think I put a Band-Aid in here. And I'm just going to kind of hold this over you. For those of you that read Golden, you probably have a lot of guesses on who gets damaged in this book. Yeah. Pretty much everybody needs Band-Aids at the end of my stories. What does that say about me as a writer? I don't know. Yikes. Okay, here's the deal. Somebody gets beat up in this book. Actually, two people get beat up in this book, like hardcore. One you're going to really like, one you're not going to like. Go ahead, see if you can guess. See if you can guess. Remember, this is the prequel novella. In this book, we are dealing with Illyria before she ever met the bears. So we're dealing with Illyria, we've got Lowell, we've got Shadow, and we've got a whole cast of new people in Lowell's group that we have not met yet in Golden or in the Golden Trilogy series. So we were going to be meeting a lot of new people. In fact, you are going to be meeting people that are important to Illyria, people that are important to Shadow, people that are important to Lowell, and people that are important to the rest of the series. You're going to see some people coming back later on in the series. And this is a big one, guys. I revealed this during an Ask Me Anything a couple weeks ago, I think it was. There is a character who is in this book, who is also in this book, but is not a main character, does not have a major part. In fact, you don't even know this person's name. And if you are not paying attention, you will not catch that it is the same person. So only once you know, only once you pay attention, only if you are rereading, will you catch the fact that this person keeps showing up in this book, in this series, and we haven't even learned a name for this person yet. I'm really excited about it. And I can confirm this person is also in the sequel to Golden called Locked, and you will be seeing just a little bit of this person in Locked, and it's interesting. So keep an eye out for this particular person. All right, so I am going to move my pocket. I hope you enjoyed that. I do have 10 other objects in the other 2 pockets that you have not seen that I was going to dish dirt on for this story, and you picked the purple one, so there you go. That's all on you guys. I hope you enjoyed this little behind-the-scenes look at Forged. All right, I do have something really cool for you. We are going to be playing one more game before we get to Q&A, and then I've got a present for you guys. Now, before we go any further, I do need to tell you, the more you comment, the better off you are going to be, because I am giving away prizes tonight. Somebody is going to win some really cool prizes. Actually, more than one person is going to win some cool prizes. The grand prize winner is going to get a copy of Golden, a signed copy of Golden that is annotated. And this is actually going to be one of the uncorrected proofs from Golden. So this is an uncorrected proof. I know that there are mistakes in it, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to write a whole bunch of notes in here. I'm going to probably draw some little pictures because sometimes I pretend I'm artistic. And I'm going to tell you some behind-the-scenes things and give you some of my thoughts and just kind of go through things and leave you little notes. So, especially if I know you, if I know who you are and you win this, oh, we're going to have some fun with some of these notes. But we are giving away an annotated copy of Golden with the uncorrected proof that I got way back when, which is kind of awesome. I'm also giving away ebooks of the Jaded Duology, the first book in the Jaded Duology, and Forged. So the more you comment, the more likely you are to win. I am going to be counting lines as we go through to the rest of the party, over the entire party. I do have a preordained number over here, and I'm going to count through. It's a high number. I'm going to go through, and I am going to be using my words. I'm going to be figuring out which line has won what, and you will be contacted in the next few days. Like I said, though, we are having a bit of a family emergency right now. And in fact, as soon as we get done here, I am off to the hospital. So it may be a couple days longer than I had anticipated. So if you don't hear from me right away, don't panic. I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. Comments from Lily. Hey, Lily. Thanks for joining. I'm glad you're here. All right, so our next game, I'm really excited about this, and I actually have to show you something over in the chat box. So take a look at the chat box. We are going to be playing a quick game, which is right here. Boom, we're going to display the offer. No, wrong one. Oops, my bad. Now you guys know what your present is at the end. That was really bad. Okay, we are going to be playing Creating Illyria's Dress. So within the Forged book and within the within the Golden Trilogy, we know before Illyria met Dove, before she kind of fell for him, she was actually engaged to her handler, Shadow. Now, this was not something she was happy about. Her cousin Lowell told her that she was going to be marrying Shadow, and together they would be his right-hand team. And that was something we discovered in Golden, so that's not a spoiler for the book, but we will see that happen within this story. And so, because Illyria was going to get married, she was supposed to eventually marry Shadow from this series, we are going to be creating her wedding dress. And it's going to be interesting because a wedding dress to marry Shadow is going to be a lot different than a wedding dress to marry literally anybody else. So go ahead and grab that page. We're going to do this together. Ordinarily, I would have had this done in advance, but we got that emergency call earlier today, and I just didn't have time to do it, unfortunately. So I'm doing it live on air. Yay, you get to watch my face as I panic. So I'm going to actually pull that up for me so that I can see what I'm doing. And let's do this together. So go ahead and grab your sheet. You can sketch this out if you need to. And the first thing we're going to do is add her hair. So remember, Illyria has long, flowy, curly, golden hair. So we are going to be adding, I didn't like that. We are going to be adding super long hair for Illyria on her wedding day. That never happens to Shadow. Hate to break your heart. Some of you Elite 3 team members who actually like him still don't understand you. Shout out in the comments if you have read Golden. Do you like Shadow? Are you a fan of Shadow? Because I am so not a fan of Shadow, and my street team, they kind of have a thing for him. It's really rather interesting. So I am drawing on our hair here, and then we are going to create her dress. So go ahead. Do you think she would wear a strapless dress? Do you think she would have sleeves on? Do you think it would be long sleeve? Let me know what you think Illyria would end up wearing to her wedding. And I am going to go ahead and draw on a neckline. I'm going to draw on some sleeves here. I think I like that. Actually, I think I don't. But we're going to run with it anyway. Yes, oh yes, we are. I'm going to grab my eraser tool because I'm doing this in Photoshop as we go. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, what's happening? Oh, I see what I did. I totally drew on the wrong layer. My bad. What is happening? Stop. Okay, here we go. I am erasing that there. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me add a layer here, and then we can draw on that. So at this point, you should have hair and you should have a dress. Now, here's the thing. Illyria is not going to walk down the aisle to marry someone in Lowell's fold without being properly prepared. So Illyria would probably have a few weapons attached to her. So let's go ahead and add a little belt with a knife, because I think if Illyria was forced to marry someone against her will like that, she would totally have a knife attached to her hip. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that on right here. Ooh, that's interesting. Boom. Yes, oh, I like that. That works for me. She definitely has a knife on there. Go ahead and draw some shoes on her. We want this girl to be properly, what do you say, proper footwear for this. I don't know. We're going to have to give her a hairpiece. So what is she going to wear in her hair to kind of fancy it up? And I would definitely say we're going to give this girl some flowers. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to grab some pink. We're going to draw some flowers on her hair there. We're going to share this with you guys in just a minute. There we go. I've added some flowers. And then I'm going to add a few waves to her skirt so that it's long and flowy and beautiful. Yes, I can totally work with that. And at this point, she is going to have a necklace on that is something I can't really tell you about. It is top secret, but she does have a special necklace there that she is going to be wearing. And I do believe I am pleased. So let me go ahead and screen share this with you. Hey, Susie, thanks for joining. We are right now creating a dress for Illyria if she were to get married to Shadow in Forge like she was supposed to. Thank goodness she doesn't marry him. If you've read Golden, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to screen share this. And we would color that in just a little bit. So let me color that. Tara, thanks for joining us. I love seeing you guys here. Totally awesome to have you. So here we go. We're going to add just a little bit of color. You can grab a copy of this over on the side in the chat box, and you can actually color this along with us. And I would love to see what you are coloring. When you are all done, put it on social media and go ahead and tag me in that baby so that I can see what you are up to. I am going to add just a little bit here for the knife. And obviously, my coloring skills live on air are far less cool than my coloring skills when I'm not on air and I have a little bit more time, but we did have some stuff going on today that kind of threw my schedule off just a little bit. So, gosh, I need to switch my brush. There we go. Shout out what you guys think I should do as far as the color of her shoes. Now, don't worry, I'm going to bring that down there. There we go. What color shoes should we give her? She has to wear a white dress because wedding, or potential wedding, or never to be wedding, because that's the way we roll here. What color should Illyria's shoes be? Are we thinking a pop of color, or are we thinking more of a functional light or a dark color, like her dark boots? Speaking of, here's another hint for you. Illyria actually has a special pair of boots somewhere in the series, but I can't say any more than that. Give me a shout out. What color should we be making her shoes? Now, the cool thing about Illyria is that she has golden hair. It is not white blonde like everybody assumes Goldilocks' hair is. It is actually gold. So it's got a brown and blonde base. And I know right now it looks super dark, but that is because I have not lightened it yet, so stick with me. There we go. We've got some light color here, and then we are going to add in some touches of gold. And then we are going to call it a day on this because we have some other stuff we have to do, right? If you have questions, now is the time, because in just a minute we are going to be doing our Q&A time. And I want to know what your questions are. So anything about Forged, about Golden, about Jaded, about writing, or about life is totally acceptable. Go ahead and let me know. And real quick, I'm going to check that chat box. Red Shoes, Yentl says, hey girl. Hey girl, thank you for showing up. I always love when you're here. Red Shoes it is. Let's do this. We are going to grab some red shoes and paint that on right here. And red for blood, right? Because she's out for blood when she gets sent on her mission to destroy the bears. And she bleeds a lot in all of the books because the poor girl can't get away from it. All right, so there we go. This is Illyria's wedding dress. I am going to actually click the save button because I want to save that. We'll put that on social media later. If you are doing this along with me, I want to see your images. Go ahead and let me know. Go ahead, color that baby in, and get this on social media. When we're done, I want to see. Yentl says, exactly, red for blood. You got it, girl. You got it. All right, now is our time for question and answers. Go ahead, hit me up with those questions. You know the drill. Chat box is on the right side of the screen. The red question mark tab is for questions, but at this point, it doesn't matter. Just type them in for me. Tara says maybe black with some brown coloring. That would have been good too. I kind of did the brown on the little belt sash thing with her knife, and she also has some knives hidden in her boots, and the girl's just got weapons. She's prepared because she is so well trained, which you will see in Forged. Yentl wants to know, if you could describe Illyria in one word, which one would it be? Um, Loyal. Illyria is loyal. She she works so hard to take care of her cousin Lowell. He's her only remaining family, and she is so loyal to him to the point where it comes down to knowing that what she's doing in Golden is wrong, and she has to have that crisis of conscience moment where she has to decide betray her family or do what's right. She's extremely loyal, but she's also extremely loyal to the Bear family. And then Yentl asks another question. What about Dove? Which word would you use to describe him? Dove is selfless. Dove is absolutely selfless because he does crazy things like save his enemies and run into burning buildings to save people and throw himself out of a second-story window to protect someone. And he's very selfless. He does not think about himself. He thinks about other people first. And there's no other word that can describe Dove as perfectly as selfless. All right, go ahead and hit me up with more questions. Let me know what you want to know as far as Forged goes, or Golden, or Jaded, or anything else that I'm working on, writing, life. Ask me photography questions, because you know I'm over at my photography all the time, so let me know what you want to know more of. And I'm really excited because we've got a lot that we've covered within this party. This has been absolutely so much fun. We've talked about some secrets within the books. I've given you some hints. We are at the back of Forged, and I'm really excited because it's out today, and everything fell into place, and we're all excited and ready to go, and I hope you will get your hands on a copy of Forged soon. Yentl wants to know, which book has been the hardest to write, Forged, Golden, or Jaded? Gosh, what has been the hardest to write? Golden was a little hard because I knew that I wanted to write this story. I wanted to write the story about Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and it took me a very long time to figure out what I was going to write. So I've been obsessed with Goldilocks since I was a little girl, and I matched my hair to the golden color in the hair dye aisle, and I knew Goldilocks did not have white blonde hair like everybody said. She had my color hair, and nobody represented her well, and I just had to figure out how to write it. And so for years, I tried to figure out her story because I was obsessed with the real story behind the fairy tale story, and it didn't make sense to me that this girl would wander into a house and just set up shop there and then run away when the owners came back. That just didn't make sense. So it took me a very long time to figure out that she'd been trained and sent on a mission to destroy the bears, and that they were people and not actual bears, and all of those little details. It took a long time for me to figure out, but once I figured it out, it was really fast. I wrote that one really, really fast. Jaded was hard. Jaded was hard because I knew where I wanted to go, but I didn't know where I wanted to go, so that was fairly hard, but also easy at the same time. Forged was easy because I knew I needed to go through a training. It took some turns I was not expecting. There were some characters that I was not expecting, and it was just a very interesting process. I will say, writing Locked, which is the sequel to Golden, that was dang hard, guys. Dang hard. Because I had a plan, I knew what I was doing, and I started writing it years ago, back when I had written Golden, and before I had any definite plans for publishing it. And I had not written the second book very far because I knew any publisher I was working with would want to change some things, so I didn't want to write something and then have to rewrite the entire thing. So I had a plan, but I didn't have, like, every single detail figured out, and it was difficult because I ended up writing it really, really fast. I had a very short deadline and a very quick turnaround time, so it was difficult. I am currently writing the sequel to Jaded, and it is difficult. I think that is the most difficult one, especially because I know what's going to happen in the end. It's different writing the second book in the Golden series because there's still one more book to go. But with the Jaded duology, there's only two, and this is the end, and I know what's going to happen. And it's hard. And I think I've got this mental block where I don't want to write it because I don't want to write it. But I have to write it because it comes out at the end of this year. So I would say, and that wasn't one of my options that you gave me, but I would say Risen is the hardest one for me to write right now. I can't get over how beautiful the Forged cover looks. Woo! Thanks, girl. I know you are in love with this book, with the novella, and with the cover, and I love that you love it. I love it. I just finished the cover for Locked because I'm a professional photographer and designer, and I get to design my own covers when I'm working with Snowy Wings. And dang, guys, I cannot wait for you to see it. The cover reveal is actually next week. If you want to sign up, it is lockedcoverreveal.k.m.robinsonbooks.com, and it is amazing, and you will get to see it before anybody else. And I have some special things I'm giving away to people who are helping me out. So, lockedcoverreveal.k.m.robinsonbooks.com. What book was your favorite to write? Susie wants to know. Golden. Golden is my baby. But I love Jade too. Like, the process of writing Golden, that was my favorite. The process of writing Jaded was not nearly as fun because I wasn't nearly as in love with these characters. But after it was done, after I saw how much sass and amazingness Jade had, after I fell in love with those characters, I adore them. She is my girl. They are my girls, and I cheer them on as they do things. But to write, my favorite was Golden. Yes. Also, I might be a little obsessed with the Bear family. Just saying. Yentl thinks that we need to hire a therapist for the fans because you're going to need one after Locked. Yes, girl, you will. But not nearly as much as you will need one after Risen. Or the last book in the Golden Trilogy, which I have not publicly named yet. Tara says you are a new author for me. What book should you start with? Okay, girl. So your options here are Golden or Jaded, which I should hold this way because my fingers don't block the important parts. Golden or Jaded. Golden is a young adult trilogy, which is a retelling of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's amazing. I love it. I've gotten rave reviews. It's been compared to The Hunger Games and to Divergent and to Sarah J. Maas books. Jaded is an amazing young adult dystopian about a girl who, well, you know what? Let me just read the backs to you. Hold on, let me read the backs to you. So, Golden. When the girl with the golden hair betrays everyone, not even she has hope of surviving. The stories say that Goldilocks was a naive girl who wandered into a house one day. Those stories were wrong. She was never naive. It was all a perfectly executed plan to get her into the Bears group to destroy them. Trained by her cousin Lowell and handler Shadow, Alluria's mission is to destroy the Bears by getting close to the youngest brother, Dove, his brother and sister-in-law, and the leaders of the Bears group. When she realizes Dove isn't as evil as her cousin led her to believe, she must figure out how to play both sides, or her deception will cause everyone in her world to burn. If her allegiances are discovered, either side could destroy her, if the society doesn't get her first. So there you go. It's an amazing young adult retelling of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, where I've totally turned everything on its head. Goldilocks is on a mission. She's like a deadly assassin type girl, and the Bears are not mother, father, son, but rather younger brother, and older brother's wife. So we still have the paternal, maternal overview here, but they've got a lot of issues, like anger issues. Like there's a lot going on here. I absolutely love it. It's my baby. Jaded, let me read the back to you, and then I'll explain that to you. Her father failed in his mission to take control from the commander, a defeat that has cost Jade her life. She will die as punishment. Now she belongs to the commander's son, as his wife. Knowing his intent is to quietly kill her in revenge, Jade's every move is calculated to survive, until she learns her death ensures the safety of her father and her entire town. Roan doesn't want to kill Jade, but once his family isolates her from her father and community, his only choice is to go through with the plan. Jade doesn't make it easy as she tries to sway him into falling for her. Each misstep makes him question his cause. Each moment makes every decision harder, but the commander won't allow him to fail. One chooses life, one chooses death. In the midst of chaos, only one will succeed. Now this has been compared to, it's actually been called the young adult dystopian Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So if you like that movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, this is for you. I absolutely love it. And honestly, I don't know which to tell you to read. This one's my baby. This one's my baby. I will say that, you know, people have different opinions on these. And I know that Jaded is written a little bit better than Golden is. I know that. There's a lot more sass a lot of really in-depth character growth in here. Not saying that this one's not. This one definitely has all those things, but from a technical perspective, this one's probably a little bit better written. It also was written directly after this one. But it depends on what characters you want. So you can actually get free samples of this on my website. So if you go to excerpt.k.m.robinsonbooks.com, you can get the first chapter and a half of Golden and the first 3 chapters of Jaded, and you can decide which one you want to read first. Now, Golden is written entirely from Illyria's perspective, and Jaded is written from both Jade's perspective and Roan's perspective. So there's a lot going on there. Tara says Jaded sounds suspenseful. It is, girl. It is. Sounds intriguing. Are they available on Amazon? Yes, they are available on Amazon. We actually had both of them available everywhere. You can get them in bookstores. You can get them online. But we just pulled Golden from certain places because we are going to be trying out Kindle Unlimited. So right now, I think it's available in maybe 1 or 2 places still, but we are pulling it down from everywhere but Amazon because we're trying Kindle Unlimited. We're going to see how that works out. But for now, you can get Jaded everywhere, and you can get Golden, Amazon, and some other places that haven't taken it down yet. So grab it while you can. But again, you can get the free samples over at excerpt.k.m.robinsonbooks.com and get your hands on those to decide which ones you want to read first. Gentle says you should binge read all of them, Tara. They're beyond amazing. Girl, thank you. Thank you. I have a lot of really amazing fans. They're just fantastic. And Gentle is one of my biggest supporters. She's one of my elite street team members, and I just adore her. So thank you, girl, for sounding like a commercial for me at all times. I appreciate it. All right, guys, we are just about out of time, so let's get this baby wrapped up. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. This has been so incredibly fun, and I loved hanging out with each and every one of you. And let me just... Yes, we're just checking out who is still here. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you are still here with me, I have a present for you. So here we go. Let me put it up in the chat box. And if you didn't notice, I did put up in the chat box the link to grab Forged. So if you want Forged, you can actually click on that. That'll take you to my buy links, which you can then click on Amazon. And you can then go to my Amazon page and see all of the books. So if that makes it easier for you to find me, click on it now before I take it down. All right, here we go. I'm removing this, and I'm going to put up the next one, which is your present for joining me today. You know I love to give out presents here at my author brand, but also over at Reading Transforms and K.m. Robinson Photography, where I am a social media marketing strategist for authors and photographers, and I teach them how to use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, Periscope, their blogs, their newsletters, and their websites to market their books or their photography businesses. And I love giving out my freebie bonus gifts, and today we have a great one for you. And if you follow any of my parties, you know I like coloring sheets, and so I've got a coloring sheet for you today. This is what it is. I was working on it earlier when I got that phone call, so it is not quite where I was going with it, but it's still cool. It's still cool, and it looks a lot like, wait for it, the coloring sheet from the Golden Party. So we've got a whole series going on where we've turned the covers into coloring sheets. And so you can get your hands on a copy of that, and then you can put that out on social media for me. As you can see, I kind of colored that one in. That was a really, really fast coloring job because I literally had like a minute and a half to do that because I was dealing with some other stuff earlier today. So don't judge my coloring job on that. I'll probably redo that later and handle that. Yentl says, and the happiest of book birthdays to Forged, aka one of the best books of all times. Girl, that is why we love you. Tara says, happy launch day. Thank you, Tara. I appreciate it. Also, I hope I'm saying your name right and it's Tara and not Tara or another pronunciation. So if I got it wrong, I do apologize. I have more friends named Tara than Tara. So I apologize if I'm wrong. All right. I hope you enjoy your presents. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have more questions, you have more comments, I want to hear from you. Look me up on social media. I am at K.m. Robinson Books on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. And I did get it right the first time. Yes. Yes, girl. All right. I'm glad I got your name right. I am on social media. I am putting things out all the time. We're doing some really cool segments. In fact, I just launched a brand new segment over on my YouTube channel called Book Snack Sat, where I'm teaching you how to make bookish recipes to go with the books that you're reading. We've got all sorts of amazing segments over on our YouTube channel, all sorts of things on our blog. I just released, and this is really exciting, I want to share this with you, I just released a quiz for you to be able to determine which of the golden characters you are. So you can actually go on and take the quiz and see if you are Illyria, Dove, Berwin, Eden, Lowell, Silas, Rayla, or Shadow. You can access that by going to goldenquiz.k.m.robinsonbooks.com. In fact, let me type that in for you real quick. goldenquiz.k.m.robinsonbooks.com, and it moved that. There we go. Oh, well, you can copy and paste it. It didn't hyperlink it. Sorry, guys. My bad. So you can go take the quiz and then post on social media about which of my characters from Golden you are. Now, if you have not hung out with me over on my Facebook page, we do have a game. It is the Save Jade game, which you can also access. I'm not going to tell you much about it, but you get sent on a choose-your-own-adventure interactive mission over the course of 3 days with one of the characters from the book who's trying to save Jade. When you read the book, you can actually see how your actions impacted the things within the book. So, savejadegame.k.m.robinsonbooks.com if you want to check that out. And if I am spouting off these links too fast for you, go ahead and just message me, direct message me, reach out to me on social media, send me an email, and I will get you all the links you need. Because I know I'm talking fast. We talk fast here. It's the way it goes. Okay. Let me take a deep breath. We're going to wrap this baby up. Thank you so much for joining me. I've loved hanging out with each and every one of you on Forge's book birthday. I hope that you absolutely love this series. I do recommend that if you are jumping in to read, you do read Golden first. Don't read Forged unless you've read Golden, because it works that way. You Golden, then Forged, then Locked, and then the third book, which we still haven't publicly named yet. But thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I love interacting with you and hearing from you guys, and I cannot wait to hear from you again. If you are new to me, I know some of you are new to me tonight. I just want to give you a little overview. I am always on social media, especially Facebook and Instagram. I would love to hear from you at k.m.robinsonbooks. Even if you have not read my books yet, come hang out with me because it's awesome, and I like to make friends. I have a ton of friends who have yet to read my books, so come hang out with me. I do live broadcasts all the time on Facebook and Instagram, so come catch me. We do AMAs, which is Ask Me Anything. I will come on and do videos on the books, on the characters, on writing advice, on all sorts of fun things. I am very video-based, and I love creating new things for you, like games, like quizzes, all sorts of interactive things. So if you've got ideas, if you want to see something, if you want to learn more about a character or a book or something, go ahead and write in, and I will work on getting that involved for you. In fact, we are currently designing something that is so dang cool that I can't even tell you about it yet. But it's kind of awesome. And it does have to do with the world of Golden. So I hope you'll check it out. You can also find me at k.m.robinsonbooks.com, where you have access to all sorts of amazing things on my website. And as always, hit me up at k.m.robinsonbooks on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. I am currently writing the sequel to Jaded, and I am doing a video diary, which will be available to people who have purchased the book and read it. That'll be available later on. But I'm also doing spoiler-free reaction videos over on Snapchat every time I am writing, so you guys get to see a little bit of what I'm working on and how I'm feeling about it. So come hang out with me on Snapchat. I am frequently on Instagram stories. And again, on both Facebook and Instagram Live. So I hope you'll come hang out with me. I would love to see you. I am K.M. Robinson, author of the Golden Trilogy and the Jaded Duology and Book Birthday Girl alongside of Forge today. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys have a fantastic day. Stay inspired. And I cannot wait to see you over on social media where we can connect, get to know each other, and chat about books and life and writing and all sorts of amazing things. So come be friends. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it, and I love each and every one of you for coming out tonight. You have a fantastic night, and I will see you again soon. Bye.